So Stan, I've got this email from you, and it has to do with sexual issues. And let me summarize. You and I were talking about this before the recording started. So let me just summarize a little bit. Your wife came out to you, what was it, a month and a half ago?
Yes.
Okay. That she had another lover. She was, to use your terms, polyamory. That's correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when I first read that, my original thought was, oh, he has some emotional issues because of all of this. But if I'm kind of paint a picture, but I want you to help me repaint it because I don't have all the facts yet. Okay. The picture I'm seeing is, here you are, and this circumstance occurs. Is exciting at first. The cultural religious thing somehow isn't kicking in at the moment. Yay, let's go. There's a connection. There's higher sex drive, more of it, and so on. Then I'm hearing the cultural, religious, societal thing kicks in, and down she goes. Did I say it right?
Yes, I believe so. Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay. So it's now you live in the United States, but your cultural background is elsewhere in the world, right?
Yes.
I mean, you were raised in a different country, different cultures, different religions, and so on.
Mhm.
So you come here to this country, and of course, it's quite different than that. But still, and again, always correct me, the original conditioning about this is still kicking around in there someplace. Okay.
Yes.
Now, it's my experience, at least on what I've heard so far, is that until we can do something with that original conditioning, cultural, religious, societal conditioning, this impotence level, this lack of sex drive issue is going to still have a cause. Okay. That doesn't mean you won't get better at it in time and so on, but it's still kicking around in the background. There's a cause. Let me ask you, first of all, do I have that? Does that seem right to you?
Yeah, you're correct. Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you this. I mean, it's possible. In fact, what I'm going to try to do, at least this is how I'm seeing it for now, is to go back to the cause, the conditioning, and try to okay. So if you let go of all of this and it's just no longer important, or it's less important, or however far we can get with this good start session we're going to enter into here, or we're now in actually, would you have difficulty talking to your mother and saying, hey, Mom, I don't care about that stuff anymore?
I will have difficulty to come home and say, my mother's home, say, listen, it's kind of, we love each other, but we like to, and we love more. And I know she's not going to be open for it.
Okay. Now, the important thing here is not how your mother responds to this. The important thing is how you respond. That's what we're really looking for, is your mother's going to respond however she responds. Okay.
Yeah.
And by the way, it is, I've seen in the past where mothers and parents and this kind of thing actually shift their own perception of it, even though they're not currently. That's not a guarantee. I've just seen it happen before. Okay. We're all one after all.
Okay.
But what would your response be? Oh, something's wrong with me. Oh, I've lost my mother's love. Could be very important. Okay.
Yeah, it's a fear. It's a hesitation, intimidation. It is a fear of losing her love, and maybe she will push me away, actually.
Well, get in touch with that for a moment. Okay. On a scale of 0 to 10, how big is that fear?
It's 10.
A 10. Okay. When you think about it, do you get any physical sensations in your body?
Yeah, on the left side, I feel more on the left side of the chest.
Is it a tightness or a constriction or a what?
I always go for discomfort, somewhat tightness. Yeah.
You said tightness?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, that's good. See, I'm glad I explored that with you because see, ultimately, the unseen therapist can do marvels with anything that we are willing to let go of. Okay. But we have free will. We can believe what we want to believe. We can hide what we want to hide. We can repress, forget, all kinds of stuff that we do. And to the extent we don't have things metaphorically on the table that we are willing to let go of, she's not going to touch it because that's interfering with your free will. And that's a very unloving thing to do. All right. So the task before us that I'm seeing is you and I going over this and looking at the real hurdles here, the real causes. And this thing about your mother and her response, your response to what her response is going to be. That's something at some level is important to you, and you may not be willing to let go of it. That's me talking, but how are you? What's your reaction to all that?
No, I agree with you. I understand what you're saying.
Well, okay. Is letting go of this, if we were successful with our Good Start session, and we opened the door for you, and you were able now to see things differently, culturally, and so on, and adopt more of a accepting thing of what's really happening, and so on, so that cause of the potential of the impotence would start fading. Okay. That would be a good thing. Okay. Yes, we want that. Is that more important than having to let your mother
reaction?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is much more important. It is much more important for me, at least, how I see it, to experience the life more than she had a chance to.
Well, if I get it right, how often do you see your mother, or you talk to your mother?
She lives around the corner. I see her once a week.
Okay. So does she know yet about the marital arrangement?
No one.
Would she know eventually, whatever, regardless of what we did here today?
Depends how I gonna I don't know. I cannot answer. Depends how I'm gonna feel about it, you know.
Well, would you normally tell her?
No.
Okay. Is the fear what she's going to say if you tell her?
It's the fear how they're gonna be looking at me. How they as a family members. Even my uncles live in the same town. I'm sure she's not gonna share it, but it's the fear how I'm gonna be looked by my mother than anything else.
Okay. Well, I'm putting down here that fear, thinking. See, that's your emotional response to it. Now, I don't know how far we can get with it because we got I'm seeing a number of things that are sort of in front of us. But one possibility here would be to take this presumed fear you're going to have, telling your mother, and your fear response to her response. Okay. Oh, they're going to look at me, and I won't be a member of the family in their mind, and something's wrong with me, and I'm tainted, blemished, or whatever. Okay. Whether you tell her or not is something else, but she's gonna have that reaction whether or not we have this session. Am I right? If you tell her, if you tell her,
yes, yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm seeing two possible aims here. One is an aim at your cultural response and all of that. Okay. The other is the fear response to your mother.
Mm-hmm.
They're related, but I also see them in a way as separate. Does that seem right to you?
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's go back to the cultural thing for the moment. And by the way, Stan, what I'm doing, and for those listening in, what I'm doing here is I'm gathering lots of information first. And we're going to be doing some reframing, that is looking at it through different glasses and so on. The hope being that we can take more and more of what we might not want to look at, might be repressing, might have even forgotten and so on, and take it from under the table so we can put it on top of the table where the willingness to let it go is more pronounced, and unseen therapists can do more with it. So you and I are going to talk for a little while before we bring in unseen therapists. Okay?
Yes.
That's a yes?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So let's go back to the cultural thing for a moment. Give me, if you can, or tell me, what were you told, and by who? By your religious leaders, by your mother? Tell me things you were told. I know some things, like your wife has to be pure and all of that, but tell me some other things, would you?
Well, cultural, the way I've been raised, either it was told probably directly, but when you're getting married, your wife has to be like a virgin, basically. Not basically, she has to be a virgin.
Was she a virgin?
No, my wife, no.
Okay, so in one sense, you violated the culture to begin with.
Indeed, yes.
Was she a virgin as a result of you or somebody else?
My wife? No, someone else. No, my wife was dating other people before she met me. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
My wife was dating someone else before me. I mean, yeah, we've been dating. We've been dating before we met.
Okay, all right. So she was not a virgin when you got married. No. Okay, so in that sense, you violated that cultural thing. Okay. Yes. Did you tell your mother? Does she know that?
No.
Okay, so your mother assumes that your wife was a virgin when you got married.
No, we got married at age 35, so it was kind of irrational to think a person at age 35 would be a virgin. So no, but it was not questioned or asked.
It was not questioned or asked. So if I get it right, mother would like to assume that was the case and don't tell me otherwise.
I believe she's more logical person. She lives in this world in US, I think she understands that.
Okay.
But yeah, she didn't ask and didn't tell. I didn't tell.
I'm making a little note here. Okay. Rule. I'm going to ask it more generally. The cultural, religious, societal stuff that you came from, right, that are different than those in America. Do you think those are there any values in theirs that you really should keep?
No, think about it. It's somewhat a little bit hypocritical because I know, and I'm sure people being divorced, even most religious people being got divorced from their wives. So no.
Okay.
There is nothing I should keep. There's no value of keeping
All right.
anything.
All right. Now, one other thing I want to go over here has to do with your mother. Your mother, I'm gathering, is fully in line with the cultural, religious, and societal beliefs of that society. Really important to her.
Yeah, keep going. So.
Okay. Such that, and you may not know this with a surety, but as best you can. such that if her son violates these things, she's going to have a big problem.
Depends what rules I will violate.
All right. Well, what rule or rules are so sacrosanct they shall not be violated? Can you give me
But
that?
interesting, in my view, if I'll go and cheat on my wife, she's not going to take it badly. However, if my wife going to cheat on me, she'll take. Oh, if the relationship is going to be open relationship, she will take it offensively.
Okay,
So
I'm not.
really
You're going to need to say that again because the connection here isn't perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Say it again. Say it again.
So I'm saying if I'm gonna cheat on my wife, my mother is not gonna be like too offensive about it.
So if you cheat on your wife, your mother won't be all offended.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But if it's gonna be like non-traditional marriage, like in marriage where you can actually explore, but still love one another, is gonna be I don't want to say not accepted, but not open for it.
Okay. But if the wife cheats on you, then what? From your mother's point of view.
Not very healthy, probably need to work on your relationship, blah, blah, blah.
Is she going to get really up?
Maybe this one. When I was about 3 or 4, I came out of the bathroom naked.
Okay.
And she said, "Aren't you ashamed? Go put your pants on." Something like that.
Okay. And do you recall your response to that? Like, I really did a bad thing. Something's wrong with me, and so on.
Yeah, I feel like I did something bad.
All right. Do this for me, if you would, Stan. Close your eyes. Revisit that. Get back in your body. Walk out of the bathroom naked. Your mother says, "Oh," and your response is something bad. Relive that and tell me on a scale of 0 to 10 what the intensity may be.
It's like 10. I'm scared. Looks like she's even raised her voice. It's not like, oh, go please put your pants on. It's like her voice went up. And it's a shame. Like, don't you ashamed? Like, kind of thing. Where's the shame that too?
All right. I'm writing this down. And the emotional response is a 10 now as you think about it.
Yes.
And how old were you then, as best you recall?
Let's say between 2 and 4, maybe 2 and 3 years old.
Well, I'll just say 3. That's good enough for this purpose. And were you feeling any physical sensations as a result of that?
Yeah, I feel something in my throat, and the left side of my chest is a little bit restricted, tight.
I'm making a note. All right. Okay, so we're going to bring an unseen therapist now. Okay, and you need to know up front that I'm not sure where we're going to be going with all of this. I just start tuning in, and metaphors show up, and we go places, and whatever we do, we do. Okay. So we're going to start with this specific event. I'm not sure where we're going to go